Welcome to the Ultimate Model Airplane Guide compilation, your complete collector's guide in one video. Whether you've been collecting for years or just got started, this compilation brings together 3 of my previous guides covering collecting rules, major brands and advanced collecting tips to hopefully help you on your journey. If you want to avoid expensive mistakes, learn what brands fit your collection criteria best, and take your collection to the next level, you're in the right place. Let's get started! Welcome back to Swiss 400. Today we'll look at the 6 rules of collecting model airplanes. This video is aimed at everyone who is thinking about starting a model airplane collection and also at veteran collectors who have been collecting for a while. It can get pretty confusing and overwhelming with all the different scales, brands and stores we have. I hope these 6 rules will help you grow your collection as good as possible. So let's get started and look at rule number 1. There are many different scales of model airplanes. The most popular ones are 1 to 500, 1 to 400 and 1 to 200. There are a lot of more unique scales, but for the simplicity of this video, we'll be focusing on the most popular ones for airliners. To make your collection look as good as you can, I recommend you to mainly stick to one scale. As the scale gets bigger, you get more and more detail, but the price also increases. So it's important that you think this decision through and pick a scale that you like the looks of, have enough space to display, and have the budget to support it. If you want to know more about the different scales, I have a separate video where I go more into detail about them. Check out the pop-up if you're interested. Let's move on to rule number 2. You should decide early on where you want to take your collection. Why are you collecting? Do you want to build a model airport to display your aircraft? Do you want to collect aircraft you have flown or have spotted? Or maybe you just want to collect models you like the look of. Either way, it is important that you set yourself a target of the models you want in your collection. If you don't, it's easy to end up with a mess of different models that you have no attachment to and that you might even regret buying. Trust me, it happened to me too. So make sure you know which models, which airlines or aircraft types you want to collect as soon as possible. You'll enjoy your collection much more that way. I can't stress this enough. Do not just buy a model without doing the proper research. Maybe you want to buy a United Airlines A321neo in 1 to 400 scale. There is a Gemini Jets version and an NG Models version of that aircraft. On a first glance, they might look quite similar. But if you take a closer look, you'll find that the Gemini Jets is far from being good. The engines are too big and the gear also isn't as detailed as on the NG Models one. Like with this example, you should always research which brand has the best offering to ensure you'll get the best model possible. Believe me, the differences between brands can be quite dramatic. The best way to find out which model to get is through YouTube videos or reading reviews online. On my channel I have a ton of reviews you can check out, and I can also highly recommend you the website Yesterday's Airlines, which I'll link you down below in the video description. Let's move on to the next rule. Collecting model airplanes can get very expensive very quickly. So, I recommend you to have a fixed amount of money per month you want to spend on your hobby. Also, don't feel forced to buy a model that you can't afford just because someone you know has gotten it. Be patient, and if you can't get that specific model, there will always be a next one. That's part of the fun. Sometimes you have to wait a long time to have a model re-released you missed out on, or are just waiting to be made. In the end, it'll be worth the wait. Moving on to rule number 5. There are tons of old models on eBay that are being sold for cheap. they are mostly outdated or never really sold in the first place. Of course, you could buy a lot of these cheap models and grow your collection quickly, but will you be pleased with your collection that way? I recommend you to maybe buy less models, but instead spend a bit more on each individual model. That way you will be able to buy models you actually want, and if you did your research, like I told you to, also models that are of higher quality and more detailed. I'm not saying that there aren't any cheap models that are of good quality, but mostly you get what you pay for. In the end, you will appreciate your collection much more if you buy the best models that are available. And for our final rule, display your models. This might sound obvious, but even I just recently bought a display case to put my models in. Think about where you want to put all your newly bought models. If you have them on display, you'll enjoy the models much more than if they are hidden in your basement. So buy a nice glass showcase and show off your incredible collection. That is until you find a partner, move in with them, and they think you should sell your models. Ah, love is a beautiful thing. Disclaimer, this is not a shot at my amazing girlfriend. She supports my collection and even allows me to have the models on display. I love her. So, those are the 6 rules you should follow when collecting model airplanes. Not every rule needs to be followed strictly, but remember, you need to know the rules before you start to break them. Do you think? Nowadays we have so many different model airplane brands that it can get a bit overwhelming at times. In this video I'll introduce you to the most important ones and also giving you some advice on whether it's worth buying from them. The video will be focused on 1 to 400 scale models, as that's the scale that I collect. Let's start off with the most famous and iconic brand there is. Gemini Jets is the OG brand of 400 scale. They have been making model airplanes since the late 1990s and are still going strong today. Their main focus lies with North American models, as they are based in the United States, but over the years they have released a huge variety of different models and airlines. Chances are that if you're looking for a specific model airplane, Gemini Jets has probably made it in the past. They have the most amount of different airplanes in their catalog, particularly due to their partnership with JC Wings, which I will also talk about later. In recent years, Gemini Jets has started to stagnate a bit though. This has started around 2016 with many different issues. A lot of their models started to arrive broken to customers, which is really frustrating. Also, a lot of their models are just outdated by now. There is almost always a better option to choose from over Gemini Jets. Despite all of these problems, Gemini is still one of the pricier brands, which really doesn't help with their case. We have seen some improvement in quality control over the last 2 years or so, and they have even upgraded some of their older molds. Still, for right now I'm struggling to recommend them to other collectors. Personally, I haven't bought any models from them in a long time. Let's hope they get back to their former glory, since we can definitely benefit from them. Some of their models are still decent and worth picking up. Mainly I can recommend you their new Boeing 777s, 787s and the Embraer E2 jets. As mentioned, JC Wings produces all of Gemini's models, but they also make their own ones. Contrary to Gemini Jets, they rarely release any mainstream models, instead they focus more on unique aircraft and special liveries. Another difference is the amount of models produced. JC Wings makes less models and it usually takes a long time between an announcement and the actual release, which can be frustrating. Overall, I still prefer JC Wings over Gemini Jets at the moment, as they seem to make better models, despite them also making Geminis. Over the last few years, JC Wings have also introduced us to flaps down models, as well as interactive freighters, which is very nice. Also, JC Wings once gifted me a model to review on my channel, so I'm a bit biased here. As JC uses the same molds as Gemini, they're once again not the best. The best ones are their 777s, 787s and their new 747-400s. To me, Phoenix Models is the model airplane brand of the people. Let me explain. Phoenix Models aren't the best in any category. They're mostly average with a few good ones here and there. The molds aren't the most accurate and the printing on the models is also mediocre. What makes Phoenix special though is their release choices. Of course they make some highly popular models like Gemini Jets, but they are the brand with the most unique models overall. For example, Edelweiss Air is a small Swiss airline that is owned by the Lufthansa Group. They have a very beautiful livery, but aren't exactly the most popular airline out there. All Edelweiss models except for 2 releases in the last 15 years have been from Phoenix. If you want an Edelweiss A340 or a A330-300, there simply is no other option than Phoenix. This is no exception as Phoenix seemed to be the only brand interested in making models from airlines that aren't that popular. This is great and I applaud Phoenix for this. Their models are also a bit cheaper than Gemini and NG models and are usually well built with few quality control issues. Their best models are definitely their Airbus A330s and A340s, and their 777s are good too, but a bit outdated for today's standards. By now, NG Models are probably the biggest brand behind Gemini Jets. They were founded in 2018, right when Gemini Jets was struggling the most. From the get-go, NG made some of the best models we've ever seen. Over the years, they have added a lot of new aircraft to their catalog and are still expanding today. What's notable about NG is their superb attention to detail. Across the board, they probably have the best models available. All of their molds are good, if not great. Like Gemini, their focus lies more with popular airlines. Recently, they have shifted their focus more to Chinese airlines, which is a bit of a shame. Let's hope they start making more interesting models again soon. NG's best models are their A350s, A320 family models, 737s, 757s and 787s, but as I said, all of their models are worth picking up. If you enjoyed this video so far, please give it a like as it really helps me out. Now let's dive into some less popular brands that are still absolutely worth talking about. If you're into old aircraft, Aero Classics is your brand. They have mainly focused on making classic airliners, from props to older jet engine airplanes. Their models do not feature antennas and are in general quite a bit simpler than models from other brands. It's definitely cool that we have a brand that makes old airplane models, but I really wish they would add some more detail in the future. For a while now, they have also started making modern airliners, mainly A320s and A330s. This reminds me of that one meme of the old man trying to fit in with the younger guys. My favorite models from them are their DC-10s and the Airbus A320s. Panda Models is a brand that has formed out of Aero Classics. Basically they stole some of Aero Classics molds, like their A320, and updated it with aerials and better printing and landing gear. Since then, Panda has made quite a few completely new molds themselves, and they are all pretty good. There aren't many releases though, and lately Panda has been more focused on making models for other brands rather than releasing them under their own name. Their models are always very accurate with a good level of printed detail too. You don't get any fancy packaging or extras, but the models themselves are always top notch. Like with NG models, there aren't really any bad ones. But their best models are definitely their A320s, Boeing 767s and also their McDonnell Douglas MD-11s. Aviation 400 is the most innovative brand for model airplanes. Their molds are all decent and the printing is okay too. What sets Aviation 400 apart from other manufacturers though are the extras you get. For example, all of their wide bodies come with a 3-dimensional beacon light in form of a small red gemstone. Also, they are gradually updating their models with removable magnetic landing gear, so you can display the models with the gear retracted as well. Both of these features are currently exclusive to them, and I really like the extra effort they put into their models. Especially the magnetic landing gear is great. Oh, and also, every model comes with a black plastic stand, and the price is also quite good. My favorite models from Aviation 400 are their A350s, A380s and 777s. One of the newest brands in 400 scale is HX Models. They mainly make wide-body models and they are all great, if not best in class. Often their models come both in a flaps up and also in a flaps down configuration, which I really like. Another amazing feature HX Models offers is a metal stand as well as a collector's card with every model, and all of that for a very competitive price. They also made a 737-900 with flaps down last year, which is a first in 1:400 scale. No other brand has made a narrow body with flaps down yet. While the flaps look amazing, sadly the rest of the model isn't quite as accurate. Another place where HX shines though are the printed detail. No other brand prints on as much as HX Models does, and it looks amazing. I'm especially impressed by their 747s, A340s and also their MD-11s. All of them have flaps down variants and they look stunning. Patriot Models is another new brand that mainly focuses on making some of the most unique models in the scale. They have made some really interesting aircraft, like the Space Shuttle Carrier with a very good model of the Space Shuttle Orbiter. Another example would be this weird looking Boeing 767 airborne surveillance testbed that even comes with a cool Velcro patch. All of their models come in a very premium hard cardboard box together with a stand and also a postcard and collector's card. No other brand comes close to this kind of unboxing experience. Even with all of these fancy features, their models are around the same price as NG Models and Gemini Jets, if not a bit cheaper. Of course there are more brands out there, but those are probably the most important ones you should know. Which is your favorite brand out of the bunch? Mine is probably still NG Models, even if their recent release choices kinda suck major ballsack. If you learned, you really seem to have enjoyed my video on the 6 rules of model airplane collecting, so I thought why not complete the dozen and bring you 6 more rules. In this video I have also taken inspiration from some of your comments, so once again, if you have some more rules I've missed, let me know. Let's get started. If you collect model airplanes, of course you also want to talk about your hobby and experiences, or maybe you have some questions. That's why it's important that you get in touch with other like-minded people. One way is to create an Instagram channel where you post pictures of your model or your beautiful model airport. This is a great way to find other collectors and start a good conversation. After all, that's how I entered the community years ago. Another great way to exchange your thoughts and learn more about the hobby is to join a model airplane forum. My forum of choice is called Model Airliner Forum, or MAF for short. There are many interesting threads on there and a ton of active collectors who share their experiences. If you want to have a chat with me and my community, I've just created a Discord channel that I'll link in the description. On this channel we have interesting discussions about model airplanes, help each other out, and you can even buy or sell your models. I'm also on there a lot and can't wait to help you out with your questions you might have or just chat about model airplanes. It's important to keep track of your collection from early on. It might seem unnecessary at first, but as you grow your collection, it's easy to forget which models you already have and which ones are still missing. Personally, I have an Excel spreadsheet with all my models as well as the registration and manufacturer. You can also keep track of your collection on the Model Airplane database. It's a free website that allows you to add all your collection in a virtual showcase, and also search up every model ever created. This way you are always up to date and don't accidentally buy the same model twice. If you're enjoying this video so far, please give it a like. It's a lot of work making these videos and I'd appreciate it a lot. On to the next rule. I'm aware that not everyone can afford to buy multiple models at once, but it's usually the way to go, especially when you order online. Shipping prices have been increasing for a while now, and therefore I'd say it's only reasonable to try and combine shipping costs as much as possible. I think the optimal amount of models to buy at once is 2 to 3. Anything more and I feel like you can't appreciate each individual model as much. I say save up enough money to buy 2 models from the same store and save a bit on shipping. In the first video I suggested to you to mostly buy brand new models instead of second-hand ones if possible. Still, I can only highly recommend you to look through eBay or similar sites. There are many new models being sold, often for a good price. Keep in mind that you should always look at the seller's reviews to see if they are trustworthy before buying from them. There are also very nice second-hand models on eBay that you just can't find new anymore. Once again, if the model is in good condition and the seller has a good reputation, there is no problem buying pre-owned models neither. At some point most collectors will sell some of their models, either because we replace them with better versions or we just need space or money for models we want more. When you sell your models, do it for a reasonable price though. Even if it's a rare model, I don't think it's justified to ask for a ridiculous amount of money. After all, it's still only a model airplane. This hobby should be accessible to as many people as possible, and by asking for higher prices, you keep a lot of collectors from being able to afford them. I would say you should never ask for more than $80 for any 1 to 400 scale model airplane, no matter how rare it might be. Let's be fair to each other and not try to rip anyone off. I'm so sick of seeing models being sold for $200+. That's just stupid. I've seen collectors throw away the boxes of the models way too many times. Personally, I keep every single box and I'll tell you why. Let's say you're moving homes. These models are very delicate and can't just be thrown into a moving box. Therefore, having the correct packaging will ensure that your models will arrive intact at your new place. Another reason is if you're maybe selling your model someday. A model without a box loses a lot of its value and it will be difficult to ship without risking breaking the model. Of course, storing the boxes will take up some space, but it's worth it. Oh, and one more thing. Keep them in a plastic box to protect the boxes from water damage or other things. So, have I missed something? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Swiss400 for more model airplane content and join the new Discord server to get in contact with me and other collectors. And if you're in the mood for another video, I'm sure you'll like one of these. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Goodbye, aviators!